What's up guys, CJ here, and welcome back to another all-new Game of Thrones review, this time for Season 7, Episode 2, Stormborn. It was always going to be hard to follow that premiere, but I honestly think Episode 2 did the best it could, but there were some shortcomings that we'll discuss. On the bright side, there definitely were some great moments too, some foreshadowing of things to come, and major developments on almost every front. But first, a quick plot recap. In the Seven Kingdoms, Cersei is rallying her forces, calling the handful of remaining lords to a meeting. Jaime puts some pressure on Lord Randall Tarly, Sam's dad, who's torn between his banner loyalty to the Tyrells and the throne. To the south, Dragonstone is rocked by a storm as Daenerys and her band of merry men and eunuchs are visited by Melisandre. She tells them Jon Snow could be a valuable ally now that he's king in the north, and after much debate, Dany sends a raven to invite the king to Dragonstone. Speaking of the north, things are still really tense at Winterfell. Jon's gotten the message and actually plans to go south, but Sansa and some of the lords voice concerns. Ultimately, Jon decides to go anyways with Davos for the greater good and, more importantly, the dragon glass that Dragonstone sits on. Oh, and he chokes out Littlefinger for being creepy. All's well that ends well. Arya is still headed south until she runs into an old friend in Hot Pie, and after sharing a pie, she learns Jon Snow is king in the north now, something that apparently no one in the Seven Kingdoms knew. She decides to head north to Winterfell, canceling Revenge Tour 2017, and runs into a big wolf that may or may not be hers, Nymeria. On the Narrow Sea, the Greyjoys are sailing south with Ellaria Sand and the Sand Snakes, who will rally their army and attack King's Landing for Daenerys. But the best laid plans of mice and men often fall by the wayside, and their fleet is destroyed by Euron Greyjoy, who now is returning to Cersei with his prize, Yara, Ellaria, and the one surviving snake. In Old Town, Jorah is still sick. The Grayscale could take decades to kill him, but he'll almost certainly be mad within the year. So Sam starts a dangerous procedure, one that involves cutting off all of the infected flesh, so basically like half of Jorah's skin. Overall, this was a solid episode, but I wouldn't say it was a great one. There were a lot of memorable moments, like Euron's ambush and the scene with Jorah was really one of the most gnarly things I've seen in a long time, but really largely this episode still felt kind of off. But what do I mean by that? Well, as we near the end of the series, as I feared, the meandering storytelling style of the show has given way to more rapid, forced plot development. I mean, no longer is the story kind of just unfolding on its own like it does in the books. Things are starting to happen just to happen, and partially because they kind of have to happen. Case in point, the mystery grayscale cure that Sam finds in a random book off screen. I mean, that kind of stuff has just not happened a lot in the show to this point. Usually Game of Thrones has taken the Chekhovs Gun approach. They introduce something early on and then reveal its relevance and importance slowly, eventually over time. It might just be me, but I mean, it could be just how this seems with things really starting to come together and happen as one cohesive storyline, but I hope we aren't going to be seeing too much of that in the future. Beyond that little note, the episode as a whole was kind of, in a way, it was weirdly boring, in my opinion. There were some big movements and big developments in the storylines, like Jon headed south, the Greyjoy ambush, Sam trying to cure Jorah, etc., etc., but it still somehow felt a little bit filler in the grand scheme of things. It's almost kind of like there were some good developments, yes, in almost every plot line. I wasn't lying about that in the beginning of the review, but not much happened. I mean, we're getting somewhere, but we're not there yet. Overall, though, I'll give Stormborn a 7.5 out of 10. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. If you agree with the score or disagree, drop a line in the comments section. But that's going to do it for me here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.